Imagine if you could upload your consciousness into a computer and live for thousands of years. Would you try it? This may sound like a plot from a science fiction movie, but it's actually being researched by scientists today. There are some US companies that are working on a project called digital immortality. They're trying to create digital copies of people that can live forever inside a machine. So what is digital immortality? How will it work in the future? And why do we need it? What is the meaning of life? One of the most important things in our lives is our consciousness. It is what makes us human. We think, feel, and experience the world through our consciousness. But what happens when we die? Does our consciousness go to heaven or hell? Does it reincarnate, or does it simply cease to exist? No one really knows what happens after we die. All of us have different beliefs and ideas about what happens, but ultimately, none of us truly knows. This is where digital immortality comes in. The idea is that our consciousness is simply information that can be stored and processed by a computer. If we can upload our consciousness into a computer, then we can effectively live forever. We would no longer be limited by the physical constraints of our bodies. We could experience the world in new and exciting ways. Of course, this is just a theory at the moment. There is no evidence that it is possible to upload consciousness into a computer. But this hasn't stopped some US companies from trying. They're investing millions of dollars into research in the hopes that one day they will be able to offer digital immortality to humans. So how do these companies plan to create digital copies of people? Well, it starts with brain scans. By scanning the brains of volunteers, researchers can create detailed maps of their neural activity. This data can then be used to develop artificial intelligence programs that mimic the way that people think. These AI programs are then uploaded into computers where they can interact with each other and with the world around them. The goal is to create digital copies of people that are so realistic that they can't be distinguished from the real thing. But why would anyone want to be uploaded into a computer? Wouldn't it be better to just die? For some people, the thought of being uploaded into a computer is terrifying. They would never do it themselves. But for others, it is incredibly appealing. The idea of being able to live forever and experience all that life has to offer is too good to pass up. One of the main arguments in favor of digital immortality is that it would allow people to live forever. This may sound selfish, but there is a lot of appeal to immortality. We get to do whatever we want whenever we want, without having to worry about the consequences. We could travel to every country in the world, meet everyone we've ever wanted to meet. And we could learn anything we want. With digital immortality, the sky is quite literally the limit. Another argument in favor of digital immortality is that it would allow people to experience things that they never could have experienced in their natural bodies. For example, someone who is blind could experience the world through the eyes of a digital copy. Someone who is paralyzed could experience the world through the movements of a digital copy. This would open up a whole new world of experiences for people and allow them to really see and feel everything that life has to offer. One of the biggest arguments against digital immortality is that it isn't possible. We don't know how to scan the human brain or how to upload consciousness into a computer. It is possible that it is simply not possible to do, but even if it were possible, would we want to? One of the concerns with digital immortality is that it would be very expensive. At first, only the rich would be able to afford it. This would create a new class divide between the immortals and the non-immortals. The non-immortals would be left behind and would have to deal with the fact that their consciousness was simply discarded when they died. This seems inherently wrong, and it goes against the basic principles of human rights. Another concern with digital immortality is what would happen to our digital copies after we died. Would they be free to do whatever they wanted? Or would they be controlled by the people who uploaded them. If they were controlled, this would raise a lot of ethical questions about what happens to a person's consciousness when it is uploaded. We simply don't know the answers to these questions yet. And that is why digital immortality is still in the realm of science fiction rather than science reality. We are constantly developing new technologies that allow us to do things that were once thought impossible. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more. This was Adam, and you've been watching your channel, Valley of Knowledge. Stay curious, and see you in the next one.